Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Templar Battleforce. I'm your host Imperialis, and we are continuing with our Let's Play with Brianna. And this is actually our first secure zone, which is sort of the in-between missions thing. So there was overwhelming support for me showing level up, so I guess we will do that. Let's start off with... Well, I guess let's start with recruiting our Neptune. So we can recruit our Neptune and rename him... Oh, crud. I don't have the file with his name in it. Give me just half a sec here. Okay, sorry about that. So we have Runehorn, who has requested a Neptune. So let's go into him and rename our new Neptune soldier as Black Oth. Kind of like that suit for now, and it seems like a decent helmet, so we'll leave that the way it is. Oop. Let's actually rename him. Come on. Black Oth. There we go. Let's save it this time. So we have Black Oth the Neptune, and we also have a request for a soldier or a scout from Menberg. So let's rename Drusilla here to be Menbung. Welcome, Menbung. May you live long and survive. Okay, so let's do the level ups. Brianna. Gunner and Warrior are equal. Quickness, focus, willpower. I might actually bump up... yeah, I might bump up willpower a bit, because in my off-camera game, overheating has turned into a bit of a problem. So, and willpower reduces the amount of damage that you take from overheating. So let's do that. And then we will also upgrade... what do I have you equipped with right now? Still the plasma sidearm. Let's go with gunnery. And talents. Those frag grenades have been handy. Let's up them a bit. And as far as equipment goes, what can we give you? Still just a blade. Although, technically, half a sec. Let's go back into requisition. Oh no, I have spent all my requisition. Right, I unlocked the Neptune. What can we get Brianna for gear? I don't think we can really get her anything. I like the idea. I mean, the Warpath Leviathan gives bonuses to accuracy and damage, but I like the idea of Brianna having more armor because it's pretty important for her to stay alive. Nothing exciting there. Can't get any other... I guess Brianna's just not getting any fancier gear for now. Okay, so Logan, let's level you up. For Logan, Let's give you evasion, because evasion helps with all defensive rolls, which is always a good thing when you're an engineer and not really meant to be doing a lot of killing yourself. And his focus is already pretty high. Let's do fortitude. Talents. I like power field. Buff up defense stuff. And as far as gear goes, still just have the pistol. Well, let's give you a bit more auto block. Unless I can give you... No, you've got the Leviathan armor, which is better than the infantry Leviathan. Okay, so Logan's done now. Lotari, let's level you up. Your gunnery's getting pretty high. Maybe I'll buff up tactics. Tactics or evasion? Maybe tactics. I mean, the other thing too is I can always respec all this stuff, so it's not as critical. Like if I find something isn't working for me, I can respec. But then we'll do your strength as well. Talents. Let's do burst fire 2. Just more straight up damage. Now, interesting thing here is I've got the heavy Leviathan right now, but I could equip the plasma rifle. Much shorter range, it only has a range of 3, but does quite a bit more damage. So let's give the plasma rifle a try. Don't think... Oh, yeah, we can up here. Well, that's an easy upgrade there. Go from the infantry Leviathan to Leviathan armor. Okay. Oh, Veronica has actually leveled up some. Since I have Menberg equipped with the needle repeater and kind of going for the quickness build, maybe what I'll do is I'll set Veronica up as more of a sniper. So let's still get her crippling fire, because that's very useful. And then let's grab piercing fire, equip her with the long sight rifle, and the ocular scanner. And I don't really care about that. Can I get you? Can't get you better armor. Well, what's something that gives good parry? I guess the Aegis Gauntlet gives better parry in case she does end up in close combat. Now, for your ranged accuracy, we're relying on strength, so let's bump strength up to 4. Gunnery. And evasion. So strength is at 4. Let's just make strength straight up 5. So now I have a long-range sniper and a more mobile scout. Vares. Vares. Let's give you some medic. Medic is good. And let's actually just dump both into medic. Give you some fortitude, bump up your health a bit, and bump up your strength. because you like to hit things. Got 1 point to spend. Let's just spend it on Slay, because that's the only thing I have unlocked for him. And as far as your gear goes, I need to get some better stuff unlocked for you. This said increases counterattack. That might not be the worst idea. But I do also like the idea of him just being more tanky and more survivable, so let's go for the breastplate, increase your armor, and sure, watchdog wiring, parry and dodge, because you're just going to spend all your time kind of getting stuck in close combat. Okay, last up, Black Oth. Let's train you up. You got lots of stuff to spend. So, Neptunes, let's see your equipment first. You've got a Leviathan repeater. That's your only option for guns right now. Gunnery armor. That's your only option for armor. Armored gauntlet. Leave that for now. See what we can get. Let's give you a breastplate. And piercer ammo, because you've already got 40% penetration. And then we could give you either an Aegis gauntlet or a heavy gauntlet. Let's go for more damage. You're pretty tough, I think. You can handle it. Talents. Full auto. Got 3 points to spend. I guess that really just kind of means I'm putting one in each for now, so because that's all I have unlocked, which keeps it simple. Okay, so attributes. Fortitude, strength, strength. Because you are all about the DACA. And then let's do gunnery, evasion, gunnery. So there, everybody's leveled up, except Brianna still has new gear she can buy, but nothing to buy for her. And I guess we are ready to go on. So, not even sure how much combat there will be in this episode. I might actually make it a slightly shorter one and just do the secure zone stuff, because there's lots of backstory and reading and whatnot that comes up now. So, let's deploy. The Bridge of the Righteous Fallen. With the loss of the Heir Prima against the Xeno, the Righteous Fallen is the home of the last Templars in this quadrant. As the Star Traders begin the founding and set down on new worlds, we will be in constant demand. I should meet with Major Luther to determine my squad's next assignment. Welcome to the friendly zone on the Righteous Fallen Bridge, your first secure zone. You will reach secure zones after each chapter of the campaign. In these areas, you will be able to meet with other characters in the quadrant and learn more about the unfolding story. Most importantly, when you are ready, you will make choices that determine your next mission or how to approach that mission. Major Luther has options for you, so talk to him when you're done exploring. At any time, use the Go to HQ button to return to your Battleforce HQ, where you can spend requisition and level and equip your veterans. Well, we've already done that, so. Our objective is to talk to Major Luther, I guess, but there's other people to chat with first. Most relevantly, this tiny man here, who's actually probably not all that tiny, it's just I happen to be 10 feet tall and wearing power armor. So, with So just click on him to open up the dialogue. This is actually the communications lieutenant. So let's ask him, where are we now? We are currently in orbit of Molyneux Prime. We're relying on their shipwrights to repair the massive damage that the Righteous Fallen has sustained. As you can see from the state of the bridge, we've got a long way to go. So, with so few Templars, who is helping secure the faction colonies? Raychart and Molyneux are forging ahead. They aren't waiting for our help. It's a risk on their side, but they do have their own militaries. And the sooner they can expand their colonies and build a fleet of ships, the safer we will be. So, what progress have the Star Traders made in founding new colonies? The princes of Raychart and Molyneux have wasted no time in claiming worlds. Each of the colony hives has set down on a world, and we now have 5 new colonial worlds. Has the founding gone smoothly? Aside from the dispute about what is now Raychart Prime and the trouble on Galencia Cross, things have gone pretty well. What dispute? If it had not been for the Xeno attack, we could have continued the Exodus and sought out better worlds. All of the nearby planets that are even habitable, their quality is low on the Chasteline scale? You mean they're all desert worlds? Yes, they're habitable, but barely. And the dispute? Prince Alexander Raychart and Prince Damien Lumoth of Molyneux disputed the ownership of the planet that is now Raychart Prime. Both claimed founding rights. It is clearly the best planet in the quadrant. In the end, Raychart won, but it won't be easily forgotten. Or forgiven, knowing the factions. The colonies will go slowly, won't they? Unlikely. Once Raychart Prime and Molyneux Prime were founded, they raised their stellar beacons. The factions have reported that they've already intercepted and accepted 22 refugee ships. Where are they coming from? The Great Exodus, Templar. So many were lost during the Exodus, left behind or cut off from the main colony hives and the main Templar fleet. In fact, our new colonies are just that. We are a splinter group. We are a lost quadrant. And now, with the beacons raised, other lost star traders will find us by the thousand. And so, the colonies will grow. We'll be stretched very thin. We must rely on our lineage and on each other. Yes, death before dishonor. Shalun favors the brave. And last up, what trouble on Galencia Cross? You better talk to the Major about that. And that's it for that. So, before I talk to the Major, though, let's go chat with this dude. Or this girl, I guess. She's actually a she. Well met, Brianna. I have heard much of your exploits in the battle on the lower decks of the Righteous Fallen. Major Luther made a sage decision in promoting you on the field of battle. You have earned it, and more. I am Nira Redan, Paladin Templar. Paladins are considered the historians of the Templars. Many say that, but each Templar carries the history of the Order in our lineages. And while we may not have any on this strike cruiser, there are Templar historians. Not every Templar is a Leviathan pilot. Tell me more about the Templar lineages. The lineage is the most sacred gift of our Zendu bloodline. When a Zendu woman gives birth to a child, the memories of both parents are passed on to the infant. Every Templar, both men and women, know the gift of lineage. It is the greatest treasure, and we must guard it until we pass it to the next generation. The memories of the lineage are deep and vast, in some cases, millions of hours. They are like muscle memory, giving us amazing abilities, reflexes. When presented with a situation, how likely is it that a Templar has seen it before because of his or her lineage? Because of this, some humans have come to believe that Templars have the gift of prescience, but it is not true. Sergeant Cathos is also a Templar. Yes, every member of the Templar Order shares the Zendu bloodline. You and I, we are warriors. Our lineages gift us with millions of hours of combat training. Most importantly, we gain knowledge and muscle memory to be able to pilot a Leviathan battle mech in war. Excuse me for a sec. Sorry, had to cough. Without this knowledge, these things would be impossible to use in battle. But, for a Templar like Cathos, his lineage has granted him millions of hours of working with communications equipment, reading sensor scans and helping to coordinate battle operations. Each Zendu, from an engineer to a mechanic, hails from a bloodline that prepares them for their role in the Order. Sure, what is the Zendu bloodline? Before the Great War with the Guild, our people spent hundreds of generations exiled on the ice planet Maldrix. The Star Traders believed the Zendu destroyed. In this harsh and unforgiving environment, they eked out life and passed on every learned technique and advantage they could to their children. What our ancestors did not know was that Maldrix was a special place, a bioforming world. Our time there changed us forever. Humans living upon bioforming worlds developed the Zendu bloodline. Before the war with the Guild, there is a history of Zendu bloodlines originating from other worlds settled by Star Traders. What the fate of those people is, I do not know. Tell me more about the Prophet Shelun. Ardroch Shelun came among the Templars at a time when he was needed most. During this time, the Guild and their Dark Masters, the Narvidians, were persecuting and enslaving the Star Traders. Shelun was a refugee from a destitute mining family. But he was a born leader. He introduced the Leviathan battle mech to the warriors of our people. At the time, they were designed only for deep space mining. With Shelun as our general, leading a Zendu army of Templar knights, our people threw off their chains. Free, the Star Traders fought the Guild in earnest. In the end, though, war bred only destruction. The galactic core is a charred ruin. Why did our people start the Exodus? Our homeworlds and the entire galactic core were decimated in a great war. The Star Traders and the Templars fought the Guild and their Dark Masters, the Narvidians. In the end, the war led to mutual annihilation. Entire planets were destroyed. In the aftermath of a great victory, the leader of the Templars, Shelun, led the Great Exodus. We took to the stars and went in search of a new home. Unfortunately, many of us have become lost or fell behind the main convoy. If a Templar dies without passing on his or her lineage, such a death is terribly sad, and that branch of the lineage ends forever. Fair enough. So let's just poke around the rest, see if there's anything else to explore. I don't think so. Talk to everybody that we can. So let's go have a chat with Major Luthor. Why Molyneux over Reichart? So, if you remember from talking to our sergeant there, we're in orbit over Molyneux, even though Reichart is apparently the better planet. And those are kind of the two main factions that seem to have claimed things. Of the two factions, Molyneux has a long history with shipbuilding. They're galactic traders, consummate merchants. Their ships are the engine of that life. The Reichart Syndicate is known for their political aspirations, wrangling, and spies. Ha! How long will we remember these prejudices? May we make a new start here in this quadrant. So, what's the status of the founding? Rychart has settled 3 worlds, and Molinuk has settled 2, having had 1 less colony hive. In the few months since the battle, great progress has been made. But there is always trouble. The factions are already jockeying for power. As early as the founding of Rychart Prime, they were at each other's throats. And while we defeated the Xeno attack, they will be back, and our forces are spread thin. But, as our people say, death before dishonor. We must fight on, regardless of the odds. Is there any word of other Templar ships nearby? With the stellar beacons now raised from Molinuk and Rychart Prime, we have hope that other Templar vessels will hear the call. We're certainly drawing in other Star Trader refugees. Prince Alexander of Rychart has just alerted me that a 4th Rychart colony hive has appeared out of the void, coming to the beacon. So there will be a new colony. Very soon, yes. So, this is where the storyline branches, and I'm very deliberately not going to take the same path as I took in my off-camera one. Just, I don't know, keep it fresh, keep it different. So, what assignments do you have for my Battleforce Major? We've got a report that one of the ships destroyed in the battle with the Xeno, the Ferrari Lance, may have survivors on it. Someone needs to deploy there and investigate. Also, Prince Tarquin Rychart of Galencia Cross is reporting concerning atmospheric activity on his new colony. So when I did this, I went to the Ferrari Lance, so we'll be doing something on Galencia Cross this time. What more can you tell me about the trouble on Galencia Cross? The Prince of the Rychart colony, Tarquin, has sent us warnings of very concerning atmospheric disturbances. Of all the colonies, Galencia Cross is the closest to the field of space debris left over from the battle with the Terox Xeno. Xeno are resistant to the vacuum of space. Yes, and therefore it is possible that there are pieces of the Xeno carriers that are still alive, in some sense. Tarquin's reports confirm that the solar drift has changed, and much of the debris from the space battle is burning up in the thin atmo of his new world. But if something larger, Xeno spores, fell onto the world, Prince Tarquin is requesting that we deploy a battle force of Templars to his capital city. Being on the ground will limit our ability to respond to the threat. It is the Prince's request, and his concern is primarily for his city's safety at this point. However, there is a second option. I can arrange to have Sergeant Kathos accompany you there in a spear cutter and drop ships. From orbit, you'll be able to deploy your squad directly to a landing site, if and when a Xenospore pod makes it through re-entry. And I'll just read this as well, and then I'm going to pick between one of those two. So, what else can you tell me about the wreck of the Ferrari Lance? In the battle with the Terox Xeno, the Ferrari Lance took a direct hit to its hull and vented. All hands were lost. The wreck of the Ferrari drifted through space and eventually fell into orbit of a dead planet, Exenium. While looking for salvageable materials, an entrepreneurial Star Trader captain did a sweep of the hulk. He reported 2 troubling facts. First, that there are signs of Xeno activity on board. That was enough to dissuade the good captain from taking his crew down to investigate further. Second, one of the ship's void reactors is running, and there is a section of the ship that is still pressurized with running life support. Then there are survivors. The Ferrari Lance was an exploration and research vessel. If there was anyone that could survive an event like that, it would be them. With the obvious Xeno activity on the Hulk, it would be a dangerous rescue mission, but only the Templar Knights will be capable of pulling it off. Okay, so I think, well, actually, this actually hit exactly 30 minutes, so I think I'll put a cut in here, and I will hold off on recording the next episode until this is uploaded. And if you guys want to let me know which of these you want me to deploy on, keeping in mind I have already done the Ferrari Lance, so my vote would be for one of those two. We can either deploy in orbit around Galencia Cross and respond to any potential landing sites, or we can try to keep Prince Tarquin happy and deploy at Galencia Cross, the capital city. So, and if people really, really want me to do the Ferrari Lance, we can go and do that instead. So, I will put a cut in here. I will upload this and see what you guys think, where you would rather I go. And with that, we will call this an episode. So, until next time, cheers.